G'day, happy Saturday. Brady from a stand in the park. Bodies in Australia trying to cancel Australia Day again. The majority of people don't want it, but they persist, don't they? Councils and lots of big major chains saying that they're not going to stock Australia Day merchandise. It's a tragedy. And a lot of us know that there's a massive agenda behind that. A lot of people still don't know. And it's a tragedy. We're meant to be ashamed of our countries now. And it's happening all over the world. It's not just Australia. Insert your country here, and it's a tragedy that some people have already looked at me and gone, oh great, a white middle-aged patriarch with white privilege is going to talk about Australia Day. I am not your enemy. We are not each other's enemy. We are being played, and we all agree that in the case in Australia here, and the argument against it is that the atrocities were horrible 200 years ago. Absolutely abhorrent, disgusting, and a lot of it was held back from history lessons in school, and a lot of it's evident now, and it was absolutely disgusting, and none of us stand for that. But none of us did that either 200 years ago. I don't celebrate an invasion, none of us do, except maybe the people that did that 200 years ago, which are the exact same bodies and institutions that are doing the same thing to all of us again today. That's what's happening. That's why they're trying to dismantle national pride and identity. I don't have a racist bone in my body. Quite the opposite. Australian people as a whole are not a racist people. Apart from a few fuckwit rednecks, we are not a racist people. I think we've proved that. We travel a lot. We've welcomed so many people through immigration. And as long as you're not a fuckwit, we stand together. Of course we do. We've proved that. Normal people now are being labelled by the media, who just happens to be owned by the very people who've the most to gain from lying to us. Normal people named right-wing extremists. And what are the solutions? What are the solutions? We can't just go home. My ancestors came here in 1830, and I'm not going to get into tit for tat. We've got to stand together. But I want to make a point. We have to unite at some stage, but what are the solutions? I can't just go home. The idea that no one should have ever come to Australia, the world could exist right now, but Indigenous people were living like that, like they were now, without anybody stepping ashore, is obviously absurd. If you want to change the date, then I am absolutely 1,000,000,000% for changing the date. I don't celebrate an invasion. The idea of an Englishman in jodhpurs stepping offshore and putting a flag in on that certain day is ridiculous. The history that we were told is ridiculous. People were here way before that. We've all been played. And what is the solution? $1 billion a week is being spent on Indigenous issues and programs. If you want us to say we're sorry, then we're sorry. Of course we are. All of us want to do is unite and get along in a fair country together and not be played, be equal, have an opportunity to feed our kids and be happy and be abundant and get along in harmony, which we do when we're not getting played and programmed by the media. We can't feel guilty about it. What is the solution? There isn't one. There's no solution. Anti-racism looks like nothing. Equality looks like nothing. It's just us getting along. We have to unite. The world will never be perfect, but at some stage, we have to unite. There'll never be a perfect time, but it's got to be some time, somewhere, and time is now, because we are under attack. They are telling us what they're going to do. These globalist psychopaths and these sellout governments are telling us what they're doing in Agenda 21, Agenda 30, these UN targets and WEF nonsense. They're telling us. This Great Reset is in swing. It's all in black and white. It's just that people don't want to acknowledge it, and it's being held back by, well, we can't see it on the news. These are not crazy conspiracy theories. We stand together. They're doing it to all of us. We've all been sold out. The solution is standing together, because otherwise they're going to steal all of our things, just like they did back then. And there's a whole new stolen generation of kids. They're stealing out our kids' minds through this education system, through this gender nonsense. These globalist technocrats, these psychopathic mafia drug-dealing cartels who are murderers, and they think they're God, are trying to dismantle society, people, families, society, countries. They're telling us what they're going to do, and health. And they're gaslighting us into doing it to ourselves when we listen. It stops here, but we've got to unite. I think a lot of people have realised now that COVID was nonsense and this VAX was a bioweapon. A lot of people, a little kid would tell you that the cost of living crisis is actually a cost of living with psychopathic corporations. We can't feed our kids, but the corporations are making $10 billion a year profit while they bury the farmers. Doesn't take a genius, doesn't take Einstein to figure that out. Doesn't take a genius to figure out that there's some sort of agenda behind excess immigration and open borders. They're trying to dilute nations and turn the world into a third world country, and that free speech means censorship. And this gender nonsense and this separation of male and female and the family units and this environmental gaslight. Net zero. What sort of nonsense is that? Well, they're the polluters. We all want the best for each other in the world. We are not each other's problem. We are being gaslit. We are being played. This inclusive religion that they're programming everybody with is the most divisive thing the world has ever seen. The financial system's a Ponzi scheme. It's time to put our big boy pants on and back each other. I know it's tiring, but your silence, you can't disagree in silence. We have to show our faces and stand up. And for me, that's Australia Day this year. So I'll be in Byron Bay, just being Australian, and hopefully lots of different types of people from all different races and nations and nationalities, old and new, fresh off the boat and generational, will all come down and stand for freedom and truth in unity so that we can have a solution moving forward, which is seeing clearly what the problem is here and who's doing it, because we are not shaking the bag and we are not each other's problem. So you have to lead by example. So I'll be down there. I urge you all to get down there and ignore these people who are in the victim mentality, who are laying blame and justifying, and these other people who've been brainwashed. If they knew they were protecting the very people that they detest, and if they knew who they were and why they were standing for, they would literally vomit all over their shirt. We can't argue with those people. They have to figure it out for themselves. We have to lead by example and make a stand in the physical. You see the agenda and say, hey, come down to Byron Bay on the beach down there, organise your own thing, stand together in unity. We are not racists. Don't get played into inaction and don't get played into the wrong action, but move your body. And go to a stand in the park. A stand in the park is 1,000 parks, more than 1,000 parks in 30 different countries. Meet the first Sunday of every month. Go to the website. I'll put the link in the comments. Go down there and just show your face and be with your friends and have a cup of coffee. There's nothing happens down there, but we've got to draw the line in the sand and stand there in the physical. Stand for freedom and truth. No agenda, no leaders, no religion, freedom and truth. Massive love to you all. Big love and freedom.